This episode of Weekend Producer is sponsored by Anarchy Audio Works and Weetabix. A vocalist of your caliber needs a lot of fiber so you can be more regular down the Khyber. Run titles.
Don't tell you I'm not average. Spread butter on a boy like a sandwich. LB on a musical rampage. No response for collateral damage. Seven no response for the Weekend Producer.
Greetings one and all, this is Lloyd Brown and welcome social media family to Lloyd Brown Music. Boy, I have a newfound respect for mothers, man. Honestly. I don't know what childbirth is like, but I'm telling you right now, constipation comes a close second. Don't be telling me gross. Don't be going on like your poo-poo don't stink. One thing's for sure, everyone's gotta wipe their own ass. I know, I watch it. Anyway, to the business of music making, and today I'm going to feature a plugin that a subscriber asked me to give a review on, and the plugin is called Young Pal Sounds from Yard. So without further ado, let's get into it. So here we are in the laboratory after trying to record this thing at least 10 times today. So I hope this is the last time I'm going to be recording this. Anyway, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in the laboratory, and I want to present to you the plugin that is called Young Power Sounds from Yard. And it was presented to me by a colleague, a friend, a fellow producer, and also a musician. His name is Lee Willers, and he happens to be one of my subscribers as well. And he sent out a message to me basically asking, Lloyd, what do you think about Young Power Sounds from Yard? Probably thinking that I already had it. And I said, no, I haven't got it. I don't know what to think. So I checked it out and I thought, okay. And then I linked him and said, yeah, filed it to me. Let me give it a whirl and see what it's got. Because judging by the advertisement campaign, Kabaka Pyramid was full dance in the thing, and that was enough for me to pique my interest. So I asked him to just send a copy, come give me, and I will give it a whirl and see what I think. So he has done that, and before I even go any further, I just want to give you some blurb in relation to Young Pal to enlighten you on who this Young Pal is. And Young Pal is none other than Sean Diedrich. Now, after spending several years working with Damien Jr. Gong Marley, especially on his newest album Stony Hill, Sean Young Pal Diedrich is now reveling in the album's ever-increasing success and 2018 Best Reggae Album Grammy Award win, holding production credits for ROAR, Time Travel and Autumn Leaves. Young Pal has been reaping well-deserved recognition for his contribution to the musically masterful LP. Young Pal is now proud to present to the world his first sample pack and sample instruments, Sound from Yard Volume 1. All instruments played by Grammy Award-winning musicians, Courtney Bam Drums Diedrich on drums, Ranoy Gordon on guitars, and Sean Young Pal Diedrich on piano, bass, and organ. And just to give you a little bit of blurb as to the other contributors towards the plugin, Courtney Bam Drum Diedrich. Courtney's sound can be heard on Grammy-winning album Stony Hill by Damian Marley, also on albums like Nas and Damian Marley's Distant Relatives, and Mick Jagger, Dave Stewart, Joss Stone, and Damian Marley's Super Heavy album. Ranoy Gordon. Ranoy's sound can be heard on Grammy-winning albums such as Stephen Marley's Mind Control Acoustic and Revelation Part 1 and Morgan Heritage's Strictly Roots. Now, having said that, you know, them brother now go put the funky sound in a them thing. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. So going into the plugin now, I must state that there are contact versions of the sounds, and there are also separate samples and MIDI files that you can utilize as well. So it's catering for the people that don't have contact, because it primarily works with the full version of Contact. It doesn't work with the free version of Contact. So having said that, they've more or less accommodated for the people that don't use Contact and has given them samples and MIDI files and template for certain doors to work with, which I think is a good workaround as well. So having said that, what I personally going to do, I'm just going to work with the contact element of the plugin, because I mean, if I start picking out samples and sound designing samples, I'll be here all day and you ain't gonna want that. So I'm just gonna be as compact and efficient with the review as I possibly can be. Okay, so here we have sounds from Yard. Click on that. And the subfolders are everything drums, everything guitar, everything keyboard, contact instruments, Power Ep.5 instruments, presets and demos. Okay, and if we just go into just one of the folders, it has subfolders that features the BAM early kit, fills, hi-hat, kick, loops, percussions, stems, snare and rim shot, toms and cymbals. Okay, and if I just go into one of the folders, it's got the WAV files, the samples of the crash, hat, all the instruments of the kit itself, different variation of those. All right, so that's just to give you some idea of what's included as the wave element, as the samples element of the plugin. So there's plenty of samples to get your teeth into, as it were. So I'm not really going to go into that because that's going to just put me in one almighty deep rabbit hole. All right, so I'm going to go into the contact instruments, open that up, and as you can see, it's split into how many sections? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections, right? So you got the BAM Live kit, you got the dominant and the diminished guitar, you got the Earthshake bass, you got major minor 7th guitar, you got muted guitar, you got power Fender bass, you got power reggae piano, and you got reggae guitar. And that's more or less like a straight out of the box, oven ready, oven baked, if you're that way inclined, sounds to get you started, to get you working on a sketch or a skeleton of a track. So coming out of that, I'm going to feature the instruments that I've loaded up and the instruments that I've basically built a rhythm around. So let's go into the Contact One track, which I do believe is the drums, and they sound something like this. Try again. Yeah, pretty much what I call pocket sounds. You know, there's sounds that you know is gonna fit in the pocket of a rhythm straight away, just by how the thing sounds. And they're neat and tidy sounds. So let's go into another track, which is basically the muted guitar, and they sound like this. As you can hear me playing very badly, the sounds are pretty much neat and they're in the pocket. In the pocket. That's the only way I can describe the sound. All right, so the bubble sound I'm going to come back to later. The horn sound I'm going to come back to later. The string sounds I'm going to come back to later. So next up we've got the guitar. And the guitar works on a one key to one chord principle. So I just press one key and I get a chord. So the key is neat, very neat sounds. Let's test the velocity of the sound. I'm gonna play it soft. Play it hard. Okay, plenty of scope right there. Moving on to the piano, which works on the same principle. One key, one chord. Neat, tidy, again, just neat and tidy. And last but by no means least, from the Sounds from Yard package, we've got the bass. Sounds like this. Neat again. There's no splishy, splashy residue artifacts that I can hear with those instruments at all, you know. So for me, it's very pleasing to know that I've got those sounds to start with, you know, in making a rhythm of sorts. All right. So going into the other instruments, and I utilized within Contact an organ bubble and horns. And for the bubble, if I go into Contact again real quick and I scroll down, I utilize none other than vintage organ. I think out of any organ sound in the Contact range, I don't think there's anything better than the vintage organ right about now. You know, there's so many different presets within vintage organs that whatever vibe you basically want with an organ, vintage organ is going to give it to you. You know, they've actually named some presets after Billy Preston and Stevie Wonder. So, you know what I mean? It takes a brave company to do that, you know what I mean? And not get no callback on that, you know, and playing some of the presets itself, yeah, it's pretty neat. So let's just feature a bit of the bubble. Let's see how the bubble sounds. You know, as a third-party instrument, I thought that kind of marries well with the drums that I have there and the guitar and the bass from Sounds from Yard. And also, what else did I choose? I utilized third-party horns, which are none other than session horns, which I utilized a 4-piece horn section, which consists of 1 trumpet, 1 saxophone, and 2 trombones. All right. Okay, and what else I put in here? I did put some strings and also a wailing guitar. So for the strings and wailing guitar, I utilized Hallion Sonic and basically used the stage and rock guitar preset for the wailing guitar and the spiccato soloist for the plucked violin section, as it were. Okay, so with that being said, what I'm going to do for you right about now is present to you Young Pal, Sounds from Yard, alongside third-party plugins with a little ditty called Allied Brown Roots Ting. That's the best name I can come up with right now. So with that, run the rhythm track, my selector. Okay. Well, what do I think? Well, I think you've already gotten the adjectives that I've given already, which is the sounds are neat, the sounds are tidy, the sounds are in the pocket. And that's just going into the contact version of the plugin. I know that if I was to go into the samples as well as the MIDI, yeah, I think I can put out decent productions with this plugin alone, to be honest with you, if I was just in a strictly reggae roots lovers reggae vibe, you get me? But yeah, I have to say that Lee didn't really rate it much, and I was puzzled as to why he didn't. But for me, personally speaking, you know, I am not a straight out of the box sample using kind of brother. It's like, if it sounds good, then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put something on top of it just to kind of enhance the sound. But I'm not just gonna use the sound as it basically is, because it's very easy to recognize, you know, with a lot of music producers, where certain samples came from, where certain plugins came from, you know what I mean? Or which plugin certain sounds came from, as it were. But I have to say, I have to give it a thumbs up, because what it offers for the price of, I think it's around £45, around $59. So I think it's value for money. Like I said, I think the sounds are very, very much neat, tidy, in the pocket, what you would need. And considering what's going on in the modern roots vein, it's going in so many different directions. But from a basic rootical 21st century standpoint, you can't go wrong with these sounds at all. And I mean, come on, man, grabby with the musicians you're using here, you know? And they're not gonna waste time by putting funky sounds in a sample pack, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, big up to the sounds from Yard Crew, big up Ranoy, big up Courtney, and big up Young Power himself. Yeah, man, great job with the plugin. Absolutely wonderful job. Yeah, thumbs up. If I have to give it a mark out of 10, I'll give it an 8 out of 10, you know, for the genre of reggae. Give it an 8 out of 10, absolutely. So before we go back to the studio, a word from my sponsors.
Anarchy Audio Works are proud to present their new line of 6 VST plugins available now. Vocalator Pro, Anarchy Comp, LFO Pro, Pulsar, Beef, and Duplex, in addition to the recently released Synth Essentials, all at a heavily discounted price. And as an extra incentive, further discounts have been added on top of the current discounts. By using the discount codes in the description box below, you will get a one-time only additional 20% off the sale price currently advertised. Not only that, but the huge discount bundle on offer, where you can save £290 with the total Anarchy bundle. You can get all of their plugins and more for one crazy low price of £180. That's a huge saving of £290 from the original price of £470 if all plugins and samples were bought separately. That's not including the 20% discount you can get on top if you use my discount code at checkout. And there's more. If you join the Facebook AudioWorks family group, you can get 1 gigabyte of free samples. The AudioWorks family is a community for music producers, composers, musicians, and artists from all genres to gain and share knowledge, network, and discuss all things music creation, where you can find the best deals on VST plugins, sample libraries, software, studio equipment, musical instruments, and other helpful music production resources. In addition to that, there are also regular free giveaways and early access releases exclusive to the group members for sample packs, contact libraries, DAW templates, effects, and so much more. So what are you waiting for? Check out anarchyaudioworks.com for their brand new selection of plugins and so much more besides. Anarchy Audio Works.
So that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. That was my review of Young Power sounds from Yard. I hope you've enjoyed it. If it was any use or any inspiration to you, please click that like, subscribe. You know how it go already. You know the protocol. So thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. And as always, you don't know the coup. People, please abstain from all kind of foolishness. And until I link up with you in the next exciting installment of Lloyd Brown Music, people stay blessed, stay safe. I'm out of here. Maganski. Laters. We can produce